Hare Krishna, welcome to all the devotees in today's session of Great Secrets of Bhagavad Gita. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Savitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Vaishyam Dadati Padantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhya Eva Japatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today we are going to discuss Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, text number 46. Let us start. यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Translation. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Purport. The rituals and sacrifices mentioned in the Karmakanda division of the Vedic literature are meant to encourage gradual development of self realization. And the purpose of self realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 15:15. What is that? Let us see. 15:15. सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तस्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृत् वेदविदेव चाहम् वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यः. That is the point. So by all Vedas I am to be known. So that is the ultimate goal of Vedic literature. That is the purpose. Now one may wonder why this particular point has been mentioned here. The reason is uh, Lord Krishna explained uh, the path of Nishkam Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, and along with explanation of Nishkam Karma and Bhakti, he has criticized the path of Karma Kanda uh, or those people who follow Vedas without knowing its essence. So now he is concluding here that uh, as uh, a well, sorry, a river can serve all the purposes of uh, mankind or society. There is no need to go to separate well for a particular purpose. Now, this is a very traditional analogy, uh, and to understand that we have to go back to village life. In villages, uh, there used to be different wells for different purposes. Some well for drinking water, some well for washing clothes, some wells for making some uh, particular some instruments, or like for some wells are particularly for agriculture. So there are different wells for different purposes. Now, when we have a river or any uh, water source nearby, then all the purposes of all these different wells can be served by that particular river, because river has a large body of water, and because it's flowing water, so it does not get contaminated, and it can be diverted to different directions as per our use, and uh, like in so many ways. So basically, the point of this analogy is that uh, in the Vedas there are different subject matters mentioned. However, those who come to Krishna consciousness or Bhakti Yoga, they know everything, or their all other purposes are served. So, just by embracing the path of uh, Bhakti Yoga or Nishkam Karma Yoga in this context, we can understand in the Nishkam Karma Yoga context also. So, just by embracing Nishkam Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, all other purposes of the Vedas can be easily solved. For example, uh, economic development. So, for economic development, there are various instructions in Vedas, and one is advised to follow them in order to get uh, artha. Artha means monetary gain or anything of material value, or in simple words, we can say riches. So all these things can be achieved if one is situated on the path of Nishkam Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, and there is no separate endeavor needed just to get uh, son's prosperity in life. So it will be automatically achieved even if we do not think about it. So the followers of Karma Kanda, they uh, out of their ignorance think that to cultivate artha or cultivate material desires and accumulate more and more prosperity and material resources is the aim of life, because by doing so we can have material enjoyment uh, as much as possible. So because of they have this mentality, they are collecting so many things, material things, to fulfill their material desires, uh, and all this they do on the strength of Vedic instructions. And however, the uh, point is that even if you do not think about such material enjoyment, it does automatically gets done if somebody is on the path of Nishkam Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. So we do not say that Nishkam Karma or Bhakti does not have or does not accommodate the elements of sense gratification. If it were not so, then arguably we would not be, uh, you know, having marriages. We wouldn't be having beautiful houses, and we wouldn't be having delicious foods. So all these things are allowed, provided we understand that what is our need and how we can dovetail it in proper consciousness or Krishna consciousness. So the only difference is that a person on the path of Nishkam Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga does not cultivate material desires beyond certain limits, because he knows that these material desires are the cause of bondage. So he knows uh, his own material attachments. At the same time, he also knows that he has to overcome these attachments. So if he just follows the path of Nishkam Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, so he will get sense gratification fulfilled, and at the same time he also advances in self-realization. So that is the point. Uh, in contrast, if you see that the followers of Karma Kanda, they they simply focus on sense gratification, and what do they get in uh, at the end is only frustration, because they always get down to the this material world again and again, or this material way of life. They may get elevated to heaven, but once their punyas or pious credits are over, they have to come back. So their repetition of birth and uh, birth and death do not end. So, and they do not understand the other parts of the Vedic instructions. That is renunciation, vairagyam. Because only through vairagyam, a person uh, can understand the real purpose of life. But because they are too attached to material desires or material things, they somehow overlook these instructions, and they can serve only a particular part, only a particular set of instruction mentioned in Vedas, that is how to accumulate wealth. So, anyway, uh, that alone is not the purpose of Vedic instructions. And if we just have a river, everything, all purposes, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, everything will be served. So, Bhakti Yoga has this potency. So if someone is situated in Bhakti Yoga, all dharma, artha, kama, moksha will come automatically. We don't have to think, oh, how I can now, because I'm a devotee now, so how can get artha, or how will I follow dharma, or what is where is the question of moksha? So naturally, he will be, a devotee will be executing dharma, he will be accumulating artha, he will be having kama in his life, sense gratification, and he will be advancing in spiritual life. So everything happens because Bhakti Yoga has all these things in proper places. The goal is to please Krishna, to serve him with the attitude of detachment to all these material things, understanding that all these material things or material desires are the cause of my bondage. So, with this desire, a devotee performs all the four goals of life: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Sometimes devotees think that, oh, I need not follow dharma. Anyway, I have to just perform bhakti. So why should I follow dharma? Okay, now you don't if your aim is only bhakti, then you should be performing bhakti 24/7. Are you doing that? You want to satisfy your senses. That means you need artha. You are accumulating wealth. That means you need artha. You want sense gratification. That means you need kama. And what do you do for that? You are committing adharma just to accumulate wealth and to accumulate sense gratification or things for sense gratification. Generally, people, if they are not on the path of dharma, naturally they are following adharma. And what is the result of adharma? They get implicated into more and more sinful life. Now, uh, that this simply is not a sign of a devotee. A devotee cannot be a sinful person. A devotee is a most pious person. So it's just a matter of recognizing that we need dharma, we need artha. See, if we need artha, if we need kama, so naturally we need dharma, because we are not supposed to get artha and kama in a adharmic way. So there are ways mentioned in the Vedic literatures how to achieve artha and kama. And besides that, there are other instructions related to how to perform our own dharma, that is varna and ashram dharma. And if you don't follow that, then our moksha part will be hampered. So we will not be advancing in spiritual life. And this is what is happening in Vaishnava society, particularly in our society, that we are somehow neglecting the dharma part, varnashram dharma part. So and because of that, uh, we are getting more and more implicated into sinful life. So we are getting artha and kama fulfilled, but in a very adharmic way. Most of cases, it is a adharmic way. Hardly, few devotees will be getting their artha and kama in a dharmic way. So that's the sad state of affairs, because uh, because of there is not much awareness about all these things, that we have to uh, get artha and kama in a prescribed manner, in a way mentioned in the Vedas, that is dharmic way. And what is dharmic way? To act according to one's varna and one's ashrama. So we cannot imitate other ashramas. Suppose someone has lust desires, so he should not uh, imitate the ashrama of renunciation. If he does that, then he will create havoc for his own life and for other people also. So that is the point. And actually, the ultimate purpose of uh, performing bhakti yoga will be defeated, because we won't be advancing in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes some devotees assume that actually they're advanced in spiritual life, but actually they are not. Just to have some theoretical knowledge, that is not the sign of advancement. Even demigods, devatas, they are also very much uh, refined understanding of Vedic literatures. It's not that they do not know about Krishna consciousness, but still, even though they know everything about Bhakti Yoga, they are still attached to material desires. So that means just knowing about Bhakti Yoga is not enough. We have to act in that consciousness. We have to act in Krishna consciousness. So by acting in Krishna consciousness, even artha and kama will be fulfilled in a way that will lead us to Krishna consciousness. And Krishna conscious person naturally a dharmic person, so he will not be accumulating artha and kama in an adharmic way. Adharmic way means, to put it in a very simple words, those ways that have been prohibited in Vedic literatures, that involves uh, sinful actions. For example, we are running some factory and or manufacturing some items that are that are not conducive for environment. We are producing so much smoke in the society, uh, in air, and it leads to air pollution. It leads to you know, all kinds of health issues. So that is not the dharmic way. So if you want to have some business or we have to do something, then naturally we should think that anyway I need something to maintain my family. So let me do something which does not involve sin. So that is the attitude of a devotee. We can see Arjuna, how much is afraid of adharma. It's not that Arjuna was not capable of punishing his enemies, but still he was having so many considerations just to uh, get ensured that uh, he must fight. So that is a sign of a devotee. A devotee is a sinless person, anagha. So this much we can understand from this particular statement, that by Krishna consciousness, naturally we can attain dharma, we will attain artha and kama, and at the same time we will attain the moksha part by advancing in Krishna consciousness. So, but the Krishna consciousness does not mean that a person will uh, will not be recognizing his needs of artha and kama. For most people, they need some food, uh, food, nice clothing, nice homes, uh, nice family life. So these are all natural desires, and one is not advised to immediately uh, jump over the ashrama of sannyasis, and that will simply a disturbance in the society, and that is why traditionally, generally, all people are advised to get married. So there is not a uh, such a preaching about okay you become a brahmachari. So nowadays whatever we see in our society that we have to preach a lot that you become a brahmachari, don't become grasta. So but that is not the way. That renunciation should come from that person, that it should come from within. So after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and all these things, if a person clearly thinks that he should apply for uh, renunciant life, then it should come automatically, not that somebody has to push him. Because this artificial pushing is, is not encouraged in Vedic literature or in among cultured people. So we can see in the past those who took up the life of renunciation, they did so voluntarily. It's not that there were some people who encouraged them. You must become a brahmachari. No. So in Prabhupada days, there was a it was a completely different situation because in the Western countries to uh, perform bhakti yoga means uh, you must give up your material life. Otherwise, you cannot advance because you don't have any concept of proper family life. You don't have any concept of dharma. So naturally, a person if he does not join temple, even if he has to become a grahastha, he must join the temple. That was the scenario. So otherwise, just by living outside, that was considered Maya. So that was the situation of early days of our movement. But in India, that is not the situation. So we should clearly understand. So there should not be any unnecessary uh, pushing for brahmacharya life. We should be pushing for brahmacharya. That one must be a celibate uh, irrespective of his ashrama. Even if he is a grahastha, he must remain a celibate. So only for procreation he can have uh, garbhadan sanskar. Otherwise, he must maintain his celibacy. That is also a vow for grahastha. So uh, that is called pure grahastha life. Otherwise, if someone is just has accepted grahastha life and having family and everything, sense gratification, but no uh, commitment to or no such vratas, then it is simply we can say it's an animal life. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko visheshu dharme nahi na pashu samana. So without dharma, everything whatever we do, uh, even if it is done in a very sophisticated way, it is animal life. Prabhupada gives an example of like a car is running on four wheels and a dog is running on four legs. What is the difference? The same in mentality. So so just doing sanctification in a little sophisticated way does not make us more advanced than animals. That's the point. Okay. Next, so self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's eternal relationship with Him. The relationship of the living entities with Krishna is also mentioned in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita 15:7. My Vamsha Jivaloke. So living entities are parts and parcels of Krishna. Therefore, revival of Krishna consciousness by the individual living entity is the highest perfectional stage of Vedic knowledge. This is confirmed in this Srimad Bhagavatam 333:7 as follows. Aho patashvapachoto gariyan yajjivagre varste namatubhyam te pustapaste juhuvusasnurarya Brahma Anuchur Nama Grananti Yete. O my Lord, a person who is chanting your holy name, although born of a low family like that of a Chandala, dog eater, is situated on the highest platform of self realization. Such a person must have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices according to Vedic rituals and studied the Vedic literatures many times after taking his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. Such a person is considered to be the best of the Aryan family. So, this particular verse emphasizes the real purpose of Vedas. So, the real purpose of Vedas is to understand Krishna consciousness. And if some who has accepted Krishna consciousness, then it must be understood that he has already uh, done all the other activities of Vedic rituals, or he has done all dharma, artha, kama, moksha uh, in his previous life, and that is why he has reached it. So we can understand it in a very simple analogy. So, for example, uh, when someone travels by air, so in a flight, so uh, for example, we have to go from one city to another city. So in a flight, we do not touch every any all parts of the uh, all places in between these two cities. But uh, when we reach the other city, our destination, then it is understood that we have already crossed them. We have already touched them. So it is we can say that in a we can take it in a figurative sense also, that we have already crossed everything. We have touched everything because we have already reached our destination. So whatever was necessary to reach that destination of place, so we have fulfilled those conditions because we directly came to that place. Now we may do so by train or we may do so by car, but by plane also we can do that, and that means we have already fulfilled all the qualifications for reaching that place. In that way, anyone who has come to Krishna consciousness is understood to have fulfilled everything, all the Vedic duties. However, that does not mean that now we should just stop performing Vedic rituals or our duties in terms of one and ashrama. That is not the goal, because, or that is not the understanding, because we, as long as we have material desires, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, we must perform varnashram dharma. Otherwise, it is the animal life. If you have material desire, that means we need varnashram. If you are pure devotee, you don't need varnashram. So one must be intelligent enough to understand the purpose of the Vedas without being attached to the rituals only, and must not desire to be elevated to the heavenly kingdoms for a better quality of sense gratification. It is not possible for the common man in this age to follow all the rules and regulations of the Vedic rituals, nor is it possible to study all the Vedanta and the Upanishads thoroughly. It requires much time, energy, knowledge, and resources to execute the purposes of the Vedas. This is hardly possible in this age. So even in this degraded age of Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to perform so many Vedic rituals. So the best purpose of Vedic culture is served, however, by chanting the holy name of the Lord as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, the deliverer of all fallen souls. When Lord Chaitanya was asked by a great Vedic scholar, Prakashanand Saraswati, why he, the Lord, was chanting the holy name of the Lord like a sentimentalist instead of studying Vedanta philosophy, the Lord replied that his spiritual master had found him to be a great fool and thus asked him to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. He did so and became ecstatic like a madman. In this age of Kali, most of the population is foolish and not adequately educated to understand Vedanta philosophy. The best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Vedanta is the last word in Vedic wisdom, and the author and knower of the Vedanta philosophy is Lord Krishna. And the highest Vedantist is the great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is the ultimate purpose of all Vedic mysticism. So ultimately, all other Vedic rituals, uh, whatever mentioned in Vedic literature, even to regarding the matter of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, it is very difficult to perform them. So these particular statements are not meant for rejecting all these Vedic rituals. However, the purpose is to give more emphasis on chanting the holy name. So if we can just chant the holy name 24/7, then we do not need any other things. But we do need uh, sanscritification. That is why we have to follow the Vedic rituals or samskaras, and, or we have to follow our dharma as best as possible. So, and we have to give more emphasis on Krishna consciousness. So that is the purpose. So sometimes to emphasize more on some particular thing, the other things are discouraged. That is called nahi ninda nyaya. Nahi ninda nyaya means to condemn something to in order to eulogize something. For example, when you say that Krishna's face is condemns the beauty of moon, so now the condemnation of moon is not the goal, but to praise the beauty of Lord Krishna's face. That is the purpose. So similarly here, uh, when it said that the one who reaches Krishna consciousness, he has already done everything. So that does not mean that now he must give up all these things, all the Vedic rituals, and just be happy in Krishna consciousness. If he can do that, just if he can just remain in Krishna consciousness, or uh, just try to please Krishna 24/7, then arguably it is the statement is correct. There is no need, absolutely there is no need of doing anything else. But the reality is that we are not on that platform. We are not Krishna conscious 24/7. So we need sense gratification. And that is why we have to follow the rules and regulations mentioned in Vedas as best as possible, not as least as possible. Sometimes you would think, okay, then I will do the list. So then that that is a very crooked mentality, because for science gratification, our demand is high. The demand of sense gratification is high. But when it comes to following Vedic rituals, then we say, oh, we are Krishna conscious. We don't need, or we, even if we need, we need less or least. So that is crookedness. And by such crookedness, we can never advance in Krishna consciousness. So, whatever sense gratification or whatever amount of sense gratification we need, we must follow the boundaries of Dharma, so that we can attain Artha and Kama as per Dharma. And at the same time, we can advance in Krishna consciousness. Okay, I will stop here. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता यज्ञ की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. हरे कृष्ण. Thank you.